How was it?
I would like to.
She's been in there all night. I don't want the worms to get any ideas. Yeah, and ground me next. It looks so cozy, like being hugged by the dirt.
No, son. You only get grounded when you do something reckless.
Oh. I was not being reckless. My friends and I had a really tough day at school. 2 students were eaten, and we had a test. So I just needed to be a team.
Sendikuphendulile kuqala wathi ingwiqi yami iyagquba. Roasted potatoes and chicken with my favorite salad, baked beans. Okay, dinner is served. Can you tell the same message I do like
Or like leave it open.
Evening, everyone, and thank you so much for hopping in onto this link so quickly. We'll allow a bit of time for more people to join. If I may just ask at this stage that our Zoom master, who is in charge, they showed us last time who's in charge, to please mute everyone's audio at the stage, and maybe let's disable that feature. If you are an official and you'd like elevated rights, please just raise your hand and then the Zoom master will be able to note you. So for now, I will keep quiet and give us another 5 minutes for more people to connect. If you're an official, please raise your hand so that the Zoom masters can note you and they'll be able to promote you or give you the adequate access. Thank you so much.
No, I'm just saying, I mean again. The next session.
Hello. Yanela, are you in?
Yes, I am.
Welcome back. Pardon?
Thank you. We can go.
Awesome. Welcome everyone. Perhaps I can't say welcome back because we're now in a different room. So if we were at the Grammys, or what we normally do at the Grammys is we actually change rooms. So welcome to this room. Welcome to Toastmasters District 74 Conference 2021 Lekotla. It's an amazing time. And what better way to start the next segment than by celebrating the most recent champion that I know of, the champion of public speaking. Yonela, did you hear anything about what I'm talking about? This international speech championships, what sport, you know. Did you hear about the champion?
Of course, trainers, I got to hear about that. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we'll be celebrating all the heroes that have helped to build District 74 as part of the Hall of Fame. Because listen, for every effort that you put in, we want to thank you. And tonight's Hall of Fame is all about that. But before we get into it, yes, trainers, we had to get someone who has walked the path and really done great things in the space in Toastmasters to come and give us a quick talk before we get into it. Well, trainers, if you allow me, I will quickly then be introducing the speaker that will be speaking to us tonight.
That will be coming. Wow. But perhaps before you do that, to the people that have just joined us, to the guests and stuff, Hall of Fame. Why Hall of Fame? What is the Hall of Fame? Just like you know it, in Toastmasters, we want to celebrate all our achievement. We want to always celebrate our members. And the Hall of Fame is the penultimate event in Southern Africa where we celebrate all the achievements, including the most recent, where our District 74 champion, Verity Prize, was crowned. It's such achievements that we like to celebrate. And we're going to applaud, ululate, and just be happy for all the people that have achieved greatness. And tonight, are walking in the Hall of Fame. I wonder who is going to open the Hall of Fame segment. I know you know someone who is a Hall of Famer in their own right because they had massive achievement in the past. But that's all I know, Yonela. Can you tell us more about this person and perhaps introduce us to the next speaker?
Yes, and I want to add a little bit of suspense at that point because before I introduce the speaker, I want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, the Lekotla conference for District 74 has not finished yet. Tomorrow is yet another amazing session, which will be starting at 9 a.m. in the morning, and you do not want to miss it. Let me also tell you, there is a part that will be talking about parenting, where you are allowed to bring your young one to be part of the meeting. Can you believe it? Yes, if it is not fun, it is not Toastmasters. So please diarize to be part of that meeting in the WhatsApp groups. The program will be circulating and you sure will know what is happening. Please do not miss it. Now, my word, I almost called you the guest speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, the guest speaker in August 2019, he emerged as the winner of the Toastmasters International Speech Contest, an annual public speaking competition that includes over 30,000 competitors worldwide, performing the speech entitled An Unbelievable Story. This person provided a humorous take on the heavy subject of race and the importance of acceptance despite difference. I'm sure you already can guess what I'm talking about. Well, an accomplished speaker prior to the 2019 championship, this person also earned second place in the International Speech Contest in 2016. Oddly enough, this person considers himself, that's a clue, one of the most introverted people you can meet. Public speaking and storytelling were extroverted activities he never thought he would pursue. However, with hard work, dedication, and a team of invaluable supporters, this person has become proficient in both skills and learned to balance his innate introversion with flashes of extroversion. Storytelling and public speaking have not only led this person to engage audiences at Fortune 100 companies such as Vanguard, JP Morgan, Chase, and Wells Fargo, notable universities such as Temple, Drexel, and the University of I struggle to pronounce this name, Pennsylvania, but they have also allowed Aaron to travel across the world, impacting the nations. Ladies and gentlemen, I just gave out the name quickly there, and I hope you did pick it up. We are talking about none other than Aaron Beverly, who will be talking to us. And yes, part of impacting the world, outside of the USA, we are lucky to have him tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together and welcome Aaron Beverly to the stage. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yanela, and thank you, Toastmaster Trinos. I can completely understand your pain when it comes to that word, because I too have problems pronouncing words that I am not completely familiar with. For instance, when I first learned about your conference, I was sent an email that said the name of your conference. And I said, okay, this word, I got this word. This is an easy word, spelled L-E-K-G-O-T-L-A. In my American mind, my American eyes, I see this word and I say, when I get to that day, when I start presenting in front of District 74, I'm going to say, I am happy to be at La District 74. Now, a friend of mine by the name of Jabulo, and you probably know this guy, maybe, I'm not sure, but I think he foresaw the danger that was about to come of embarrassment. And so he sent me a message through a voice message, and he said, Aaron, it is pronounced Lehotla, La District 74. And I said to myself, I would have never gotten that at all. But I guess that goes to show you that just because something looks a certain way doesn't mean that it's truly what it is. Just because something looks a certain way doesn't mean that is necessarily what it is. And in no other case is this more apparent than when it comes to the World Championship of Public Speaking, or when you get to any success or accomplishment. Now, when people see me as the World Champion of Public Speaking, they just look at that World Championship of Public Speaking and they assume that, Aaron, you are such a great public speaker that the World Championship of Public Speaking has completely changed your life. And when I hear people say things like that, I think, no, that's not necessarily true. The World Championship of Public Speaking did not change my life. But in order for me to really help you understand, I need to take you back to when I first started to compete in the International Speech Contest. I started competing in the International Speech Contest in 2012. And when I was competing in 2012, I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to win the World Championship in my first year, because what you didn't understand was that I was the best speaker in my club. I was the best speaker in every club that I went to. This meant that I was the best speaker in the world, obviously. And I knew that I was going to win every single round of the International Speech Contest, all 6 rounds. My first year, go to the World Championship of Public Speaking, win the World Championship of Public Speaking, then be invited by all the celebrities, because everybody would want to know who I was, obviously. Oprah would want to interview me on her show. Barack Obama would invite me over to the White House. I just knew that all of this was going to happen when I won the World Championship of Public Speaking in 2012. I get to the area, and you can imagine my surprise when I place second. Afterwards, there was a gentleman who came up to me. And without even introducing himself, the first words he said to me were, "Do you want to know why you lost?" Now, keep in mind, when you are a competitor and you have not advanced in the competition that you are participating in, the last words that you want to hear out of anyone's mouth is, do you want to know why you lost? But luckily for that gentleman and for myself, I maintained my composure and I told him, sure, please tell me. What he told me was that, Aaron, you basically just preached to us. You just told us what we needed to do, but we didn't get a story from you. He told me that you needed help. He told me that I needed to find a way to create better stories and a better speech. But the words that stuck out the most for me was, I needed help. I decided to reach out to Dr. Dilip Abeysekera. Dr. Dilip Abeysekera was the 2005-2006 president of Toastmasters International. And I told him my plight, and what he told me was that he would help me in the following year. So 2012, I guess the biggest lesson that came out of that year was that just because you are the biggest fish in the pond doesn't necessarily mean that you are a master of the sea. In 2013, Dilip was true to his word and he decided to coach me that year. He taught me the fundamentals of public speaking. He taught me the fundamentals of telling a good story. Through his tutelage, I was able to go from not getting out of the second round in the area of the contest to getting all the way to the semifinals that very next year. The lesson from 2013 was that you don't have to be proud. You don't have to do it alone. You can get some help. You can get a mentor, you can get a coach, you can get a friend. Someone is willing to help you. Now, one thing that I will say on top of this is that you don't always have to get somebody at the top. Dilip was a former competitor in the international speech contest, but he was not a world champion. Sometimes people think that they have to look at the pinnacle. They have to get help from the people at the top, but not necessarily. You just need to get help from the person who has been further than you, a person who has more experience than you, who can give you more knowledge, who can tell you about mistakes that they made so that you don't have to make them. So remember that when you seek help, it doesn't have to be from the top. It can be from somebody who just has more experience than you do. But that was 2013. 2014, I started to branch out on my own. I decided that I wasn't going to seek Dilip's help again and again because I figured that I had to learn this for myself. I had to be the young fledgling bird and fly away from myself. In 2014, I decided to start playing around with styles of public speaking. And in 2014, I had a speech about a boy who had a dream. It was an analogy of the three little pigs. And the boy had three houses that represented his dreams. And of course, in an analogy of the three little pigs, you have to have a big bad wolf. And my big bad wolf, he had a big bad voice like this. And he would huff, he would puff, and he would blow the house down. Oh, I thought it was so good. It was good enough that it won my district, again, for the second year. But there was a gentleman by the name of Randy Harvey who was in attendance that day. For those of you who may or may not know, Randy Harvey was the 2004 world champion of public speaking. Upon hearing my speech, Randy met with me afterwards and he said, Aaron, you have a problem. You're a good speaker. And I thought, okay, that's a problem? He said, Aaron, you have a great skill to take something that should not get very far, very far. Now, he did not actually say that. I just used that for a humorous effect, but in my mind, that is what it sounded like. But what he did tell me was that there was no connection with the speech that he heard. I was able to hear the voice, Randy said. I could hear you speaking, but I couldn't connect with you as a person, as a speaker. If you want to establish a connection with your audience, you have to make it personal. You have to give them that connection. When I heard Randy's words, I said to myself, Randy, you don't know what you're talking about. I just won my district for the second year in a row. So I flew to Kuala Lumpur in 2014. I went to the semifinals. I gave that speech, and I have not looked at that version of my speech since. In fact, I hope that all previous versions of that have gotten burned and destroyed. I do not want to see it at all. Because I knew Randy was right. When I was on stage and I was experiencing that audience at that time, I could feel that there was no connection. Luckily for me, I was able to see the 2014 World Champion of Public Speaking, Dhananjaya, and he had a speech that was simple, but it was powerful because it was personal, and he established that connection with the audience. I said to myself, listening to him, I need to make a speech that is more personal because I need to have a connection like that. 2014, the lesson for me was that you need to establish a personal connection with your audience if you truly want to reach your audience. 2015, I decided to write a new speech. This new speech was more personal, but to be honest, I didn't think it was going to be very good. I didn't think it was going to get very far. I thought maybe it could get past the area, but I didn't expect this to get past division. It was about a dating experience that I had, a bad dating experience that I had. It was common. I didn't think it would be that valuable to people. To my surprise, the speech got me all the way to the district level for the third year in a row. But I placed second. I did not advance to the semifinals that year. I was a little bit down, but then there was one person who came up to me and he said, Aaron, I've listened to you for the past 2 years. That is the best speech that I have ever heard you give. 2015, the lesson was just because you haven't received the result that you want doesn't mean you're not growing. So in 2016, I decided to take that same speech. I had the fortunate privilege of being close to another district, District 18. So I took my speech from District 38, put it in District 18, competed in their contest, refined the speech over and over again. And that speech that at one time I thought would not make it past the area level in the previous year, the speech that I thought that nobody would really care about or resonate with before, that speech took me to the World Championship of Public Speaking in 2016. In 2016, I came onto the Toastmasters stage per se, and I came onto the stage in a roaring fashion with a 57-word title speech. That speech has gone down in history as being the longest title in Toastmasters history, at least when it comes to the World Championship of Public Speaking. After that speech, though, I left the stage with something that you never want to leave with: regret. But the lesson that I learned in 2016 was twofold. One, you can take something that wasn't as good, make it better, and improve it. And then secondly, you want to focus on the right thing, which is what I decided to do in 2017. In 2016, when I left the stage with regret, it was because I had put so much focus on the judges. I wanted to win. When I got to the World Championship, I forgot all about growing. I forgot all about my message, and I started focusing on simply winning. And when I messed up on stage, I couldn't fathom I couldn't think about how the judges, I started thinking about how the judges were going to judge me. I started to think about how I had messed up. This caused me to stop focusing on the message and started focusing on things that I should not have been focusing on. No longer was this about the audience. This was all about me and how I looked. 2017, I said I was going to just focus on my speech execution and focus on the message that mattered. That year, I made it to the semifinals again, but I didn't place. However, I left that stage knowing that I had done my very best. I left that stage more satisfied with my performance in 2017 than I had in 2016. The lesson there is if you have done your absolute best, you can be satisfied with your performance. 2018 rolled around. I competed again. This year, I didn't get out of my district again. I placed second. I call it the year of two trophies. The trophy that I wanted was first place in the international speech contest. But when I didn't get it, I felt embarrassed. I felt ashamed because at this point, I had been to the World Championship. Then the following year, went to the semifinals, but didn't place. Then the following year, I couldn't even get out of my district. I was growing as a speaker now. I felt that I was focusing on the right thing, but my progress was regressing. I was going backwards, I felt. It wasn't until about October of 2018, several months after my conference in my district, where I looked at my bookshelf and I noticed another trophy sitting there. That trophy was the first place trophy for the evaluation contest. The evaluation contest was the first contest that I had competed in that wasn't the international speech contest. And I had done it in my first year, which was a goal that I had wanted way back in 2012 to win a contest in my first year at the highest level. Now, here I was in 2018 able to do that, and I couldn't be happy about it because I didn't get a certain goal that I had wanted. The lesson here for me in 2018 was that you don't want to be ashamed of all the rest of your accomplishments because you couldn't get one. You have a lot of good that you may be doing, but you want to just focus on that one aspect that you couldn't quite get. Don't focus just on that one. Be grateful for everything else that you have. And it was at that moment where I said, enough is enough. I have to approach this contest in the right mindset. No longer did I care about the trophies. No longer did I worry about how I was going to be judged. I worried about two things: my personal growth as a speaker, and when I was on that stage, it was all about the message to my audience. That was it. That was all I was focused on. I decided to not make it a goal to win the World Championship of Public Speaking. The goal was about growth and message. And ironically enough, in 2019, the year that I decided that I was not going to win the World Championship of Public Speaking, the year I decided that I was not going to try to win the World Championship of Public Speaking, is of course the year that I won the World Championship of Public Speaking. But we come back to that expression from before, that the World Championship of Public Speaking changed my life. And I say that the World Championship of Public Speaking did not change my life because it was the process to get to the World Championship of Public Speaking that changed my life. For people who have reached success, for people who are going to be acknowledged in this Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame itself did not change your life. The Hall of Fame does not change your life. Winning the World Championship of Public Speaking or winning a speech contest does not change your life. It's the process and the growth that changes your life. So I want you to keep that in mind whenever you reach success in your life, whether it's a contest, whether it's being recognized in the Hall of Fame, whether it's becoming a district leader. Remember that the success does not change you. The process does. With that, I pass it back to you, Madam and Mr. Toastmaster.
Don't worry, Aaron, we had disappeared. We wouldn't do that. We were just still, recovering from the nuggets that you gave us. Thank you so much for coming through. Trinos, do you have any question or comment for Aaron before we let him go? Because we are running slightly behind time, but I think there's one question that you may just want to quickly ask and then we can move.
Oh, yes, sure. And I really was moved by the concept of it's a process that makes you. So the question that I have is, what's the best way to deliver a great story to impact and inspire your audience and win judges' hearts? I think that's the question that I just want to ask, or perhaps even out there, when people are doing speeches out there, outside Toastmasters, what's the best way to make an impact and to inspire? Could he be unmuted?
Apologies, I muted myself after speaking. There are two ways that I want to approach this question. First off, it's not focusing on those judges. Your speech is not about the judging. Your speech is about the message. Your speech is about your audience. Now, the audience is a part, or the judges can be a part of the audience, but that's not where the focus should be. The other part of the answer is that you have to make that a personal story, but it has to be a personal story about a lesson that you have learned that you can share with someone. For me in 2019, the lesson was acceptance despite difference. And I had learned that lesson after attending that wedding in India and learning how, or seeing how people embraced me, even though I was the only Black man probably in several hundred miles radius or kilometer radius. I forget, I'm American here. But the focus has to be on audience, and then it has to be on that personal story that is going to teach a lesson to someone else.
Wow, thank you very much. And I'm also picking as you speak that so we don't have to wait for the success, do we, for us to talk about the story. Perhaps during the process when we're being made, we can talk about the story, because sometimes we wait too long to arrive before we can talk about something. But I really found it profound that it's the process that builds us. I think that's that for me. Time is always jealous when things are moving. So when things are getting so fun, but Toastmasters is one place where we keep to time. Yonela, I think that's the only question I had for now for our champ, and we'll get autographs later.
Yes, we will. And I see the chat is buzzing. People are asking questions, and I actually think that's where we want to leave it, right? Where you have questions awesome. And hungry for more, and then we just go and say that's it, because then that motivates us to get Aaron back to District 74 and answer those questions. Thank you so much, Aaron, for joining us. Really beautiful delivery there. We learned a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're moving on to, sorry, my apologies. We're now moving on to the next part of the program, which is the Hall of Fame. Yes, 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 we've been waiting for it, and the hour has arrived where we get to just see how the hard work we've put in over the past couple of months is going to be paying off. And to handle that for us, trainers, help me. Who is going to be handling that for us?
There's a man who is in my Hall of Fame because when I met him, I think for the both of us, service took precedence. And for me, Hall of Famers are people who serve because both of us had an awkward situation where we wanted to watch, but we were at the back door. When you're sitting at arms at a contest, imagine, and you're standing at the other side of the door, but that is service before self and also service to people. So Yonela, I think the best man for this job is the one who had a flower. Aaron was at a wedding, and I'm sure there were flowers at the wedding. This man had a flower in a previous meeting, was at this meeting. So I think he's the best man to take over. I proudly would like to hand over to our program quality director, but he's also the district director elect. What do you think, Yonela?
Yes, I love that. And I hope you would have been able to bring the flower. So we'll definitely have to sort that out for next year. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome Jabulo Tela back to the stage for the Hall of Fame.
Awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm privileged to be a member of District 74. We've got some of the most dedicated, most incredible servant leaders. It brings me great pleasure out of Southern Africa, 9 countries, bringing the most amazing leaders. I just want to double check if our cabinet members are ready. May I please ask all members of cabinet to please raise their hand if you are in the room and ready. Oh, I see they're going one step better. They are switching on their videos. Fantastic. That works even better for me. I just want to make sure that we are ready for the Hall of Fame. And you can see, ladies and gentlemen, they have transformed. They look amazing. They look bright. They are ready to crown our district winners. I am comfortable. I think Joel is the only member I have not seen. Joel, if you can just show sign of life by either raising your hand or switching on VR, hand raised. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 cabinet is ready for you. It gives me so Zoom team or admin team, if I may ask, that you bring on the presentation for the awards. This is like Hollywood style. We have a presentation ready. We are about to make it lit. Right? The team is probably still preparing. So we'll give them a few moments. And while I can see, hopefully we go quickly to presentation mode. Some of our members are very fast. They might zoom in. Hey, Pela, we've got very fast people in our district. So on the menu bar, you could go next where it says autosave, the last button that you see, or at the bottom right hand side. Let's start presentation mode very fast. The beauty of Toastmasters, sometimes you know something and then you are in the spotlight. Hey, like a deer in the lights, just you get dazed. You're like, oh, what must I do? What must I do? Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is a significant night. We recognize and celebrate outstanding members from our clubs, also amazing areas and division within District 74. I hope tonight inspires you. I hope tonight reminds you that dreams come true. Your dreams are valid. Continue dreaming because just like the people will celebrate tonight, you too can be in the Hall of Fame. Just maybe a backstory. Aaron mentioned this. When I met him, I think it was just before he competed in the semifinals. So his first semifinal round, he was kind enough to just give me airtime. We did a quick interview with him. It was on that day that I asked if he'd be willing to come to South Africa at our conference. Things are slightly different, but he was here with us tonight. I do hope that he comes back when the world is safe again for us to travel. But what I learned from that story is your dreams are valid and dreams do come true. So the awards that we'll present tonight are as follows. Right, I think our Zoom team is a bit fantastic. So if I just may ask, that we just become a bit attentive on the Zoom side so that this show becomes amazing. 10 awards, ladies and gentlemen, 10 awards that you are going to hand over tonight. The first award, the Van Blerk Memorial Trophy, will be announced by none other than our amazing administration manager, Lazola Bele. Some say Lazola Bell. Lazola Bele, over to you. I hope Rahadi has not muted Lazola's audio and Lazola's video. Rahadi, you can never trust Rahadi.
I am here. It's just unfortunate that as the war starts, my washing machine just decides to go haywire on me. So I'm hoping you can hear me. Otherwise, I'll have to move on. The Blerk Award is awarded to someone to honor and recognize a Toastmaster who has made a significant contribution to the year and missions of his or her tribe. So I will move on to the nominees. The nominees are Mubu. I like that, right? And I specifically skipped the middle one. Mubu. The next one is Claire Ellen. The next one is Tembelishe Mgaga. And the last nominee is Vusi Shongwane. Now, the award goes to drum roll. Claire Ellen. Can I get that slide going there? I was
Zoom Master, if you can go to the winner's slide. Congratulations, Claire Ellen, for winning.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. And I apologize for my washing machine.
we could not, we're so excited about celebrating Claire. We could, and all the other nominees, we did not even hear your washing machine. Lazola Bell. Congratulations, Claire.
Thank you so much, Njubula.
So proud of you. The next award will be presented by our immediate past district director, Nikki Quinn. Nikki Quinn, over to you.
The John Whiffen Helping Hand Award. This award is presented to somebody who has, during the previous Toastmasters year, given a helping hand to other Toastmasters or to District 74 by going the extra mile and doing more than was expected or necessary. It could be in the field of mentorship, membership growth, new clubs, helping in getting educational achievements or late semi-annual dues in, sorting out administrative problems, contests, or people problems. And the nominees for the John Whiffen Helping Hand Award this year are Napulo Alberto, Andrew Tsuro, Gary Tintinger, Etienne Robenheimer, Zavai Matondu. And this year, the award goes to Gary Tintinger.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. My heart is literally beating right now. Thank you.
Well deserved, GT.
Nikki, you're going to make me cry.
Good.
I suppose it's better if you just give me co-host rights, because I will be switching on and off my video, and therefore I think it will go much smoother if I'm given co-host rights. Gary, fantastic. Congratulations. We are super proud of you. We recognize all the help you've given to the members of District 74. I am honored, and thank you, Nikki, for presenting the award. I am honored to be presenting the next award because it's quite close to my heart. It's the ICSA Administrators Award, and the nominees for the ICSA I need to tell you what it's all about. So firstly, this award is to honor and recognize the individual who has made a significant contribution to the administration efficiencies of District 74. I know some of you are out there thinking, you know, there are little fairies in District 74 that just make things happen, but there are actually amazing servants in our district who make it happen. The nominees for this award are, and if you may ask that you unpin Nikki, I think maybe Lazola, if we can just help the admin team. I think we're struggling there with manpower. I see that we're just a bit behind there with the, maybe I blame it on ESCOM, maybe it's just there's a bit of a delay. So the nominees for the ICSA Administrators Award are Mateus Kangala, Martha Mpakula. The award goes to, and this is where we get the drum roll, Martha. Okay, hope I get the slide. Pakula, congratulations, Martha.
Wow.
Like the star that you are shining in the corner. And I just, because it's late at night, it's been a long day for most of us, especially the administration team. You guys have put in stellar work. Thank you so much. I will just run through how the awards will work. I will announce who will present the award. At that time, we've got the slide with the list of the awards. The person who comes, they will name the name of the award. At that time, you move to the citation of the award. Then they will say the nominees are. Only when they say the nominees are, you go to that award. We then say the award goes to, you pause a bit, and then you press the slide with the winner. So you need to lead the winner slide. I hope that does help the admin team so that we just get on point. If you're the nominee, I suggest you stay ready for your video, because the admin team, once your name has been announced, will call on your name so that you see you on screen. We celebrate with you, and we are just able to honor you, because this whole evening is about honoring all the members who have gone over and above in terms of their service to our members. I hope that does help. It's a learning curve for all of us, and that's the beauty of Toastmasters. This is a safe learning space. We're doing this for the first time, and we're just learning as we go. The beauty of it, we learn here and we go and we flourish out there, and people think we are naturals. It's not because of that. It's through the training and the power of the Toastmasters program. I think we've ironed out those small kinks. I think we are ready to rock and roll. The next award is one that's close to my heart. It's the Golden Goose Award, and it will be facilitated by our finance manager, Jasmine Hecht. Jasmine, over to you. Okay, I think Jasmine is still muted. So if we may please unmute Jasmine, unpin Martha, unpin Lazola. Thank you, team. Hi.
Thank you, Jabulo. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
It's my honor and my pleasure to present to you the Golden Goose Award, to honor and recognize a team of Toastmasters who have demonstrated a high level of excellence and displayed a team building and cohesive, learn from lessons from the geese. The team and their project must have made a significant contribution to the goals of the mission of District 74. The nominees are Toasted Committee, Division HYPS Cod 2, Becky Caesar Ngoma and Wusi Maupa. And the award goes to, let me open the envelope to make it a bit more exciting. The award goes to Becky and Wusi. Congratulations.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Right, team, if I may please plead with you to give me co-host access. I do need to switch on and my video off, and it just would make my life so much easier if I am able to get that access. I also noticed we're a bit slow with the pinning of the people. I see Becky is still pinned, Martha is still pinned, Lazola is still pinned, and it just makes things easier if I'm able to offer my additional hands that are there at your service. And I think just it makes things run a bit smoother. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are learning. I promise you one day I'll be hosting national, international awards, and it will run like clockwork. And that's because the Toastmasters will get this platform where we can learn, where we can make mistakes, and we perfect our art so that we go and flourish out there. So I'm really blessed to the admin team. You guys are doing so much. You've been at it since like 7 a.m. and it's now 20 hours. We don't pay you for this thing, and yet you just deliver. I'd like to say thank you for all your efforts. It then brings me to the next award. This next award is called the Bright Spark Award. What is the Bright Spark Award all about? To tell us more about the Bright Spark Award, help me welcome our Club Growth Director, Joel Gombera. Woo-hoo! All right, let's see if Joel is on.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. The Bright Spark Award honors an individual who has made a significant contribution to District 74 by introducing a new and innovative process, procedure, idea, new markets, administrative functions, marketing, educational, sales, public relations, sponsorship, among others. The nominees are Maud Nally and Andrew Tsuro. There can only be one winner, and the winner is Maud Nally.
Well done, Maud.
Thank you so much. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. Thank you, brand ambassadors, for your vote of confidence in PR for success. It has revolutionized District 74. Thank you so, so, so much for trusting it. And thank you so much for the nomination. I'm honored and I'm indeed blessed. Thank you so much.
I like this. Ladies and gentlemen, our public relations manager has showed us how this is done. So to all the winners that come after this, after you win, you must have an acceptance speech. This is like Hall of Fame business. So we demand a 60 seconds acceptance speech from all the winners from now on. Thank you so much to our public. Yeah, look at that. Born ready, born ready. Oh man, we have such an amazing team. Maud, don't go off screen just yet, because you know what's about to happen. Please switch on your video, stay on camera, because we are about to move to 2 awards that are very close to your heart. And I see no other person who is fitter to present the next 2 awards, the best PR, the best club public relations and PR event of the year. Maud Nale, over to you.
These 2 awards are very close to my heart. As brand ambassadors, we're responsible for letting the world know about Toastmasters in our community. And so I'm honored to present not 1, but 2 awards, starting with Best Club Public Relations. This award recognizes a Toastmasters club that has performed consistently in the areas of public relations. This includes internal public relations to the members and external public relations to the public. Public relations communications can take the form of newsletters, club websites, use of social media, print media, internet, radio, presentations, and the list goes on. It's my wish that we will have many more brand ambassadors on this list come next year this time, as we continuously let the world know about Toastmasters in our community. The nominees in the category Best Club Public Relations are Winelands Toastmasters, Central Centurion Toastmasters, Madison Toastmasters Club, and the Social Network. And the award goes to Madison Toastmasters Club. Congratulations to the brand ambassador of Madison Toastmasters Club, as well as to all the leaders from this amazing club all the way in Zambia. Congratulations. I'm now going to move on to the second award, which is equally related to public relations, but this is about the public relations event of the year. Even though we're online Toastmasters, we can still host amazing events and let the world know about Toastmasters in our community. These clubs have did it on a larger scale, as this award recognizes a club, a team, or an individual who has put together the best PR event in this Toastmasters year. And this should preferably be an event outside of Toastmasters contests and conferences. I'm very excited about this one. The nominees in the category PR Event of the Year are PR for Success Team, Division A Open House Event, Winelands, and the International President Auction. The winner of the PR events goes to
Can you come and
Division A Open House. Congratulations to Goose, Becky, and the rest of the team at Division A for putting together a stellar event, which is aptly recognized as PR Event of the Year. I've had such amazing fun presenting these 2 awards. Thank you so much, brand ambassadors, for the love, for the vote of confidence. You've been amazing. Keep shining like the stars that you are. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Woo-hoo! This is absolutely incredible. I am enjoying this. It's amazing. And I'm just guys, the heat, I can't deal. We have such amazing people in District 74 doing amazing things. And it's just for me such an honor to play a part in recognizing all the people. So whether you are a winner or you are a nominee, I think it speaks volumes for the people that were nominated, because it means District 74 sees you. Most of us that serve just want to do it for the betterment of others. We're not necessarily doing it to get the accolades. But the beauty is all good deeds are noticed and people see you. And that's why tonight is happening. Oh, I think we need a commercial break. I'm just like, whew, I'm out of breath. It's too much heat. I can't deal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to cause any further anxiety tonight. I will proceed. I hope you can see that we are going up levels over here. The next award, the Area Director of the Year. I am sure area directors in the house are waiting. All right. Yeah, so I'm sure the area directors that are connected to in the room are waiting with bated breath. I won't keep you waiting for longer. I will call upon our administration manager, Lazola Bele, to present the award. Over to you, Bele.
Ndiyabulela nto yakuthi. Oh, hayi suka. This award has been very difficult, very challenging. As a result, Zulu, I'm feeling like I must firm up my voice. Can I have a display of the criteria for the award? Zoom Master, as you are working on
I
it.
have lost co-host rights. I'm not able to move the screen.
All right. Can I ask that the Zoom host help us out so that we can give
So
this award?
have co-host rights, but I'm not sure who is sharing the slides. I'm not able to move the slides on my side. I can transfer host rights to Lynette, but please just remember to then make me co-host as well. Co-host rights granted. Sorry, host rights given back to you, Lynette.
Oh, you and I are the only hosts here. Sorry, thanks.
There's Bertas who's co-host, there's Trinos, Yonela. I'm scrolling down the list. I'm not sure who's sharing. Maybe we can just reshare. If you were sharing, I recommend just stopping resharing from your side and then taking it from there. Otherwise, I'm happy to do it on my side.
The slides are starting to move, and here is that summary, is to recognize and honor an area director who has made significant contribution to the goals and the mission of his or her area and district, and of course the division as well. The recipient must be generally recognized by his fellow Toastmasters in the area and District 74 for their outstanding contributions. Without going through each point that is listed, I think most importantly is to ensure that the area director has submitted all their reports that comes from the admin manager and done all their visits. So every area director that is listed here has met this criteria. And I want to say the nominees are Vilna Grobler, Michael Shackleton, Jonas Mashifani, Erica Molando, Helio Macarala, Chanel Oliphant, Titi Mpofu, Abigail Muchineika, Evelyn Alessandri, Talent Muzavambi, Future Glovo. I will say before I announce the winner that it was extremely close. And so the winner is a tie between Michael Shackleton and Erica Molando. A round of applause to the two winners of the Area Director of the Year Award.
Okay. Thank you very much to everyone that did nominate me, and really a warm congrats to Erica Molundo as well. We did have an election today where a fellow great soldier of Division Y won the role of our Division Y director, and I do look forward to working with her. And I think in our division and across the board in the whole of Southern Africa, we have amazing talents, and truly we are all here as one team with one common aim, which I think is really to develop the leaders of the future, and strong, ethical, and young leadership is needed across Africa and across our district. Thank you so much for all of your support.
Can you please unmute Erica to say something?
I'm overwhelmed. I can just say that when you lead with conviction and your intentions are geared and for your members, and the love for speaking and your passion, then this is the reward of. And I just want to say thank you to. This is an award speech, isn't it? So I want to say thank you to Nikki. To Granny B, I love you. And then I have to go to my mom and my sisters and my friends and my club executive. So I just want to say thank you. I'm really blessed and honored, and I'm here to serve. It has been a pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you, Tim. Really appreciate it. Fantastic. To all the area directors that were recognized, congratulations to you. They often use the term that the area directors are our foot soldiers. They are the link between Toastmasters International and our clubs. Thank you for your service to all the area directors that were nominated, and to the two winners, Michael and Erica. We are now moving up levels, I tell you. We are about to present the next award. The next award will be presented by our Club Growth Director, Joel Gombera. Help me welcome Joel Gombera.
Division Director of the Year. As you are all aware, we increased the number of division directors from 10 to 12. So there were 12 division directors Tonight, we are going to honor and recognize the division director who has made a significant contribution to the goals and mission of his or her division and district. The recipient must be generally recognized by his fellow Toastmasters or her fellow Toastmasters within the division and District 74 for outstanding contributions in areas that include meeting all the requirements of his or her function as set out in the District Leadership Handbook, club visits, club officer training, among others. You're looking at membership building and retention, education and training of division and members, commitment and support, external public relations and promotion of Toastmasters, and involvement in District 74 affairs, conferences, contests, among the like. The nominees for the Division Director of the Year are Elaine Gorman, Vusi Maupa, Lucinda Hammond, Joanne Smith, Gavin Chisholm, and Sandile Selaule. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and our guests, the award goes to someone from Division A, Vusi Maupa. Well done, Division A is on fire tonight. Well done, Vusi and team. Well done to all the other 11 division directors for pulling their weight this year. Congrats to Vusi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, distinguished host. Oh, I even forgot what I wanted to say. Thank you so much. But it's fitting to call you distinguished Toastmaster, I should say, for the incredible work you've done. Club Growth Director Jewel, thank you to all that found confidence in me and voted for me. I can't stop to thank my team that we've worked so hard this year, especially also to the cabinet itself, from Meryl, the support, encouragement that she's gave. May she be well very soon. Jabulo, the entire cabinet, you guys are something to be reckoned with. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Division A, you are the home of heroes. You are the home of accelerators. Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster.
When I grow up, I also want to rent the crowd, just like the Division A director. I don't know, like how the Division A accelerated crowd renting over there. Ladies and gentlemen, Zoom team, please just keep to the slide and until I introduce the next person. Ladies and gentlemen, this Toastmaster of the Year award is the epitome of tonight's awards. Think about it. We've got over 4,000 members across 9 countries. What do you think takes to be the Toastmaster of the Year? I challenge you to continue serving your members. I challenge you to continue serving your members and to one day aim to get to this point. The Toastmaster of the Year award is to honor and recognize a Toastmaster who has made a significant contribution to the goals and mission of District 74, which is to build new clubs and help all clubs achieve excellence. 4,000 members. Who are the nominees? The nominees for the Toastmaster of the Year award are Angie Kivido, Granny B, Andrea Fenta, Andrew Tsuro, Zivai Matondo, Yonela Mtluong. If you just look at the names that are on the list, these are certainly the people that we see in our district, and they make a significant contribution. And I believe, just like me, you think all of them should be winners, right? Unfortunately, there is only one winner. The award for Toastmaster of the Year goes to Granny B.
Well, that took my breath and words away. Well, we all know we at Toastmasters, we just love each other and we love to help each other. And it blows our breath away when we get recognized like this. Wow, it takes people to fill in forms and to recognize. And thank you for those people that did that. Thank you. And may there be some more power in all of us to continue serving and loving and building each other up. And may we make division, district, areas, clubs great wherever we are. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Granny B. And thank you to all the nominees for this evening and all the winners for this evening. I think overall, District 74 is the ultimate winner to have so many members that are caring, that serve with passion, and that ensure that each one of us have what it takes to excel on this program. I would like to hand back to our amazing hosts to shut it up for us so that we can start to party. Over to you, Yonela and the Juggernauts.
Hello.
What? We can hear you and see you.
To our PQT, amazing Toastmasters that have been outstanding, and thank you to all the leaders that came out and presented the awards. It has been a very long day. I know for some people on this call, they were here since morning around 8 for a district council meeting and were still on the call at 31 hours. But the good news is we've come to the end of day 3 of our conference, Le Kotla La. It has been a fantastic day. The champion has been crowned. The Hall of Fame has been done. And now we await for the proceedings that are going to take place tomorrow. You've all been fantastic. And we never imagined when COVID-19 came and when lockdown started that we would have a 2021 conference. And there you have it. We've successfully had and are still having our 2021 Maycon, as far as I remember it, or the District 74. I don't know if there are any announcements. Perhaps let me just confirm with Njabulo. Are there any announcements, Mr. QPD, before perhaps we come to a close?
Right. Sorry, Trinos, I did not have access to unmute. I saw that our immediate past district director had a hand up, so I'm not sure if Nikki Quinn would like to say something before we close. All right, fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been more than 12 hours of thrilling, exhilarating entertainment. You think it's over. It's not over yet. Wait, like a Waymark ad, there's more. Meet us again tomorrow, 9 o'clock. That's when our master classes start. Guess who we start with? None other than our international director, Aleta Rochar, to tell us more about team building. A myriad of master classes. You don't want to miss out on that. Thank you so much for staying with us. We are over and out. See you tomorrow.
Awesomeness. Thank you there, PKD, from my co-host, Yonela. She's now on the road. She can't be with us at the moment, but I'm sure she'll be in. And of course, from myself, the juggernaut, I'm out. I see Nikki has a wine glass. I'm not sure if it's an alcoholic drink. Yes. And I have mine, which is now empty to show that I've done what she's about to do. But cheers. Have a fantastic night. Good night, everyone. I'm sure you can unmute or be unmuted, and then also perhaps switch on your videos for a photo moment. But in the spirit of celebrating, you've been a blast. Thank you very much, everyone. Until tomorrow. So normally what happens in my club, there's another 30-minute meeting that would happen at the car park. I hope it doesn't happen here. Let's go and sleep. Cheers, everyone. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Yes. Those that have their glasses, cheers.
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 Where's the music?
Cheers.
Yes, please.
Cheers.
Music.
Good night.
Music, music, music.
Good night, everybody.
Bye. Thank you. Congratulations, everyone. Good job.
It's time to celebrate the victories of an African child. It's time to celebrate the victories of an African warrior. Babis and Bonke, Mabese Bazobona. It's time to celebrate the victories of an African warrior. Tell the world I'm an African child. Sabelela, sabelela, sabelela. I'm Booty. Sabelela, sabelela, sabelela. I was born in Africa. I was raised to be a warrior. Ooh, I'm a champion. Tell the world I'm an African child. Big power. I was born in Africa, and I was raised to be a warrior. Ooh, I'm a champion. From the dusty fields of my village to world stages, I'm crossing finish lines. I have earned my spot. It's time to celebrate the victories of an African warrior. Tell the world I'm an African child. Sabelela, sabelela, sabelela. I'm Booty. Sabelela, sabelela. steps of victory. Echoing champion, champion. Listen to the sound of victory. Echoing champion, champion. Kawe, kawe, kuku, kuku. Wena, wena. Wazi, wazi. Putana, putana. Champion, champion. I am proud to be an African. Oh, I'm a champion.
Should we stop the meeting now?
Notice you can carry on playing the music. I think it's very cool.
Should I play it again?
Hey. Until everybody goes home.
There's still 28 people on the call.
Wow.
I'm standing on top of a mountain, top of a mountain. I'm calling all of my people. It's time to celebrate the victories of an African child. Shabani Road.
Kom je met dansen hier staan?
It's time to celebrate the victories of an African warrior. It's time to celebrate the victories of an African warrior. Tell the world I'm an African child. Sabelela, sabelela, sabelela. Himambudi. Sabelela, sabelela, sabelela. I was born an African. I was raised to be a warrior. Ooh, I'm a champion. Tell the world I'm an African child. Big power. I was raised to be a warrior. Ooh, I'm a champion. From the dusty fields of my village to world stages, I'm crossing finish lines. I have earned my spot. I am proud to be an African. Ooh, I'm a champion. Babi Senbonke. It's time to celebrate the victories of an African warrior. Tell the world I'm an African child. Sabelela, sabelela, sabelela. Himambudi. Sabelela, sabelela, sabelela. champion, champion. Listen to the sound of victory, echoing champion, champion. Kawe, kawe, kuku, kuku. Buena, buena. Wazi, wazi. Kutana, kutana. Champion, champion. I am proud to be an African. Oh, I'm a champion.
You want it again?
No.
Or do you want to go home? Oh, stay home.
No, it's enough now. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye. My fellow host has all left now. Bye, Lynette.
Was he okay with you taking the chance? Was he okay? I didn't feel that I was just in the box.
Okay, I'm going to end the meeting.
Yeah, you know, it was a
Okay.
Good. I've lost that screen. I can't even exit.
You're the host. You're the host, so you're the only one that can finish the meeting. Unless you leave, I'll become host.
I'm trying to find out how to leave. I can't.
Okay, I'm going to stop
I'm
sharing.
supposed to leave. Oh, there we go.
Okay. Check, did it restore now?
There we go. Okay, bye.
You're closing the meeting now.
I'm going to leave it, yeah. Bye.
Bye.